Happy Thursday, June 25th. This is Michael Thomas welcoming you to another exciting edition of Rate Desk. I'm here to talk about multifamily interest rates and other news. I am reporting live from my garage, and I'm going to tell you more about that in a second later in the episode. First, let's talk about the major indices. All three of them were up today in the green. There was news in the market that unemployment levels had quieted down, sort of leveled off, so to speak. So that was some positive news. That also helped the crude oil futures prices move back up towards the $39 barrel range. Didn't quite get there, but very close. The U.S. 10-year Treasury yield still remains range-bound, trading about the 68 basis point range. So no major movements there. Jumping on over to multifamily interest rates, there's been just very incremental movements downward on FHA multifamily 223F rates. Those are down 2 basis points, so quoting 243 today, that is 2.43 on the 35-year fix, and the 221D4 quoting 3.08, that's 308 fixed for 40 years. Going over to Fannie Mae. Fannie Mae is up just a little bit, 2 ticks there, that is 2.92, quoting on the 10-year fix for Fannie Mae DUS, and Freddie Mac remains range bound and also still at the lower end of the range at the 306. That is also fixed for 10 years. Now, what I want to talk to you about today has something very much to do with my garage. I've been reading a lot of articles about the future of, apartments and communities and how folks are going to live in a new work from home environment, etc. And there's ideas out there we talked about in a previous episode, some of the built-ins and things like that. And we've talked about, again, just the suburban market in general being good. But here's my idea, okay? And this comes from a real life and living in an apartment and having a garage. Sometimes I just need another space to go to, okay? Whether I'm doing virtual reality or one of these videos or something, sometimes it's nice to just have another room to go to. Why couldn't a developer in the future build extra units like this? Okay, they're gonna have to insulate them. They're gonna have to add HVAC, AC, wire them for Wi-Fi. But why couldn't they build more of these? And you could have these micro businesses here right on an apartment community campus. I think it's really possible. And I think, honestly, it would be a great way to solve a couple of different problems. One, not everybody in the work from home is as comfortable as everybody else. Okay, if you're in a giant house and you got an entire giant room that's your own office, that's great. If you're younger and you're renting an apartment, or you're any age you're renting an apartment, you might not have as much space and you might just need to have that extra room, that auxiliary room. Even if you build a built-in or, you design smart more for that in unit, you're still in your unit, okay? And I'm telling you, sometimes you just need to get out of your unit, all right? This is something that I could see really developing and bringing other micro businesses in. When you think about small businesses, a lot of them, not all of them, but a large majority of them are really in these strip centers, okay, that have been hit a lot with the closures. So you've got a strip center that's filled with small businesses like nail salons, barber shops, maybe you've got a massage therapist, maybe you have a skin treatment center, something like that. Those are all micro businesses that you could actually have operating out of a small garage space in a multifamily unit, okay? Again, you need to equip them and figure out TIs and how you do all that, but it is completely feasible to have these micro businesses. Now, in the old days, and I say the old days, who knows when that was, but historically looking at mixed use developments, the majority of them really focus on, we're gonna have this big old retail center on the bottom, like a strip center or some anchor tenants, and we're gonna build multifamily on top of that. Well, if retail is not coming back to the way that it did, what is mixed use of the future gonna look like? My suggestion is this: why not ease into it by integrating micro businesses into an existing multifamily campus? Plus, people that live and work in an apartment unit might wanna have a so-called office space. Why not build more of these garage type units? They don't have to be big. Equip them appropriately for the weather conditions and Wi-Fi and all that. And bingo, you solve that problem as well. Those are a couple of my ideas. Clearly, I'm not an architect, but I'm just saying, food for thought. In the future, really think about how you can make it more economic and more useful, utilitarian. Because from what I'm reading, a lot of the younger generation, they're really looking for that, and they're looking for sustainability. This really, I feel like you really do hit a lot of things with this one type of a concept. All right, that's it for today. That's my thought of the day. Thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for another exciting edition of Rate Desk. I'm your host, Michael Thomas, signing off.